Hail, King Jason.
Lieutenant Avarius, how goes the training?
Lieutenants Myron and Platon are putting the new recruits through their paces. They're rough, but they'll learn.
Perhaps I could teach them.
Would you? Listen up, you men. You've a rare honor, King. This is one of our newest recruits, King Jason. Breathe, boy. Can't have you passing out before you started.
Don't be nervous. Try your best.
That's how you do it, men. Now you understand why he's the warden. Perhaps the king will show us how to fight against multiple opponents. King Jason?
Of course.
Right. You too.
Let's make it 3.
As you say, my king. You 3. Learn from the king. I hope everyone's paying close attention. You all have a lot of work to do. Some of the men were asking about how to deal with a spearman. Perhaps you and Lieutenant Myron can demonstrate.
Lieutenant Myron, when you're ready. Have some of the recruits join you.
The spear offers reach and precision. Watch the king and learn, recruits. Watch how he reacts to my spear. You honor us, King Jason.
Ida's taught me well, but it's up to all of you to train hard.
Another lesson? Against Lieutenant Platon and his mace, perhaps.
Lieutenant Platon, when you're ready. Have some of the recruits join you.
The mace is a weapon of deliberate power. You men keep an eye on how King Jason contends with it. Well fought, King Jason. We can all learn much from you.
What do you say to one final lesson? My sword could use some practice.
Lieutenant Avarius, when you're ready.
The sword is quick and agile. Learn from the king and how he responds to my attacks. You're the best warrior on Iolcus, and you have been for some time. This has been an honor for us all, my king.
Hail, hail! Hail, hail! Hail, hail! Continue your training. Remember, you fight for Iolcus, so honor her with your effort.
It's unheard of. Attacking Iolcus.
What do you think it means?
Just a band of marauders.
Sir, I'm sorry. We were just talking idly.
It's all right.
It's just that we've heard so many rumors about what happened. I don't know what to think.
The threat is over. The danger is past. As for who is responsible and why it happened, leave that to myself.
Of course, sir. It's a comfort to hear that from our warden. That's not what
The gods must be propitiated. There's no doubt this is a sign of their anger. I thank you both.
Captain Idas is finishing his investigation. We'll know more then.
Gentlemen, if you'll excuse me.
I've already sent word to have 2 prized bulls offered up to Zeus. I've already sent word to have 2 prized bulls offered up to Zeus.
This is where I first met Alcime.
When you were children?
Yes. Her father, King Lycomedes, left her in the care of my father while he was at war. 10 years she lived here.
Alcime, come back! She is willful, King Trion. You must watch her carefully.
She'll be safe here, Lycomedes.
Indeed. No one knows. Not even my advisors. Alcime!
Are you spying? Here, Father!
I see you've met young Jason.
King Lycomedes, sir.
Jason, word of advice. If I know my daughter, you're going to have to keep your wits about you.
Come, Hercules.
Jason! It's ill fortune to see me the night before our wedding.
It is ill fortune not to see you, any night or any day.
I'm told Argos' ship is almost ready for us. Where will we go first?
Alcime, I have sworn to watch over Iolcus.
I know, Warden. You have your duty. Fortunately, Iolcus is so perfect I could stay here forever. Now, King Jason, this humble princess of Mycenae is going to retire. And she does not expect to see you again until such time as you are ready to wed her.
Get your rest, Princess. I don't think you'll have much sleep tomorrow.
Well, that's up to you, but I hope not.
Is something the matter, Jason?
No, it's nothing.
I can feel that villain's trace. Sir? Hercules? Those damn Ionians came through here like a bull in a pottery works.
They're not known for their subtlety.
Yes. Would that it was only the palace they destroyed. Carry on.
What a view! You can see for miles here.
What valor! What courage! The sacrifices of those who died in defense of this land will never be forgotten. Be proud of your men and women, your sons and daughters, your kin. They honored their vows. May we give as much to honor our own.
He saved Elpis. That's what she said.
Hail, King Jason.
Captain Idas, how are you feeling?
Better, my king. My pride was injured more than anything. Was a time those Ionian dogs wouldn't have had a chance.
You fought bravely, my friend. The odds were great.
I've got 3 things for your attention, Jason. First, we have the results from our investigation of the attack. Second, I've just received a report of a disturbance in the village. And lastly, there's a private matter I would discuss with you.
Let's hear the investigation report.
I'm afraid it's both disturbing and disappointing.
What's the disturbing part?
The assassin bore all the markings of a Black Tongue. His dress, his weapons, his tattoos, and of course, his marksmanship. Jason, I went to that balcony. There's not a bowman in Greece who could have made that shot.
Disturbing indeed. And the disappointing part?
We still don't know why he came. The Ionians, that's easy. They're mercenaries. They came for plunder. But why Alcime was targeted? What anyone could have hoped to gain from it? We've learned nothing.
The Ionians. Are we sure they were nothing more than hired mercenaries?
As far as we can tell. We traced this particular band back to Ithaca. They were there about a month ago to reprovision. Our sources say they spoke there of a new job they'd just been hired for. A well-paying job.
Idis, what do you know of the Black Tongues?
Just the common rumors, really. They're a cult that worships the dark titaness Hecate. Like the Ionians, they place the old gods above Olympus. For centuries, the Black Tongues were the most feared assassins in Greece. I don't know if you remember, but when you were a boy, Alcime's father, King Lycomedes, waged a war against the cult. Until this attack, everyone thought he had eradicated them.
Apparently not. What is this report of trouble in the village?
Apparently, Zeno of Thessaloniki has arrived on Iolcus. His brother Menander fell during the attack.
Yes. I heard he was among the guests who were killed.
As you can imagine, Zeno is none too pleased. Thessaloniki has never been a friendly neighbor. Those cheese-eaters have been jealous of Zeus's favor for as long as anyone can remember.
I remember this Zeno. Loud, arrogant sort. Fancies himself a general.
Aye. Well, he's down in the village shouting at anyone who will listen, demanding compensation for his brother. He's got a couple of men with him, and the guard who made the report says there was a witch with him as well.
What is this private matter, Idis? You know you may speak freely with me.
Yes, well, it's time for me to step down, Jason. I'm not the man I once was. This attack made me realize I've grown old. I can't ask men to fight for me when I can't fight for them.
More than any man in Iolcus, you've earned the right to choose when your time has come.
I've got 3 men in mind who could do the job. The sooner you make your choice, the sooner I can start training them to take my place.
Let's see the men who would attempt to replace you.
Lieutenants Ivarius, Myron, and Platon, step forward. These 3 are equal in rank and seniority. I believe all 3 could do the job.
Lieutenant Ivarius, speak your case.
I am Ivarius, son of a farmer from the plains. I've known no other captain than Idis. If chosen, I will strive to lead as he does. Honor and sacrifice will be the hallmark of your guard.
Tell me, Ivarius, how would you defend the palace?
I would do as Idis did. Spread the guard throughout to spot any attack as soon as possible.
What do you think of your fellow lieutenants?
Both are dedicated in their own way. I'll speak no ill of them.
What is your counsel, Uncle?
From what I know, each of these men is capable. My counsel is to pick one whom the men respect, and also fear. Platon fits that description.
Lieutenant Myron, make your claim.
My name is Myron. I come from a family of shepherds. For 3 years, I've led the Night Watch. Far too many died in the attack. It must not happen again. The guard could not survive another blow.
Let's hear how you would defend the palace, Myron.
Pull back the guard to the palace's living quarters, where the most people are. Important officials, yourself, Master Polias, should have bodyguards at all times.
What do you think of your companions?
Dedicated, but reckless. In times such as these, we must be cautious.
What is your counsel, Uncle?
All three are capable. Do you want the guard to be more cautious, more aggressive, or just to stay the course?
Lieutenant Platon, speak.
Platon, born a fisherman, but destined to be captain. King Jason, your guards have grown complacent. It's time to make a clean start, break them down, and build them up again. Instill discipline.
Discipline without strategy only goes so far, Platon. How would you defend the palace?
To start, I'd have the guards off their asses and out scouring the island for the next threat. Those that must be here should be stationed in the royal court, the natural defensive point.
What do you think of your companions?
They mean well, I suppose, but they don't have the balls to do what must be done. No offense.
What is your counsel, Uncle?
All three are capable. Do you want the guard to be more cautious, more aggressive, or just to stay the course?
I've made my decision.
Who will it be then?
Lieutenant Avarius, I name you Captain of the Guard. It is my wish that you strive to lead as Captain Idas has led. Nobly, honorably, and with dedication. May you always be first in battle and last to stand in our defense.
It will be my honor. May the leadership of Idas live on through me.
All three of you, I am grateful the Guard has men of your quality. Dismissed.
I thank you, Jason. I'm sure my wife, Cipriana, will thank you too.
After a few months with you around all day, she may change her tune.
I'd like to go tell her the news.
Of course. Let's finish our business, then you can go to the village. To be safe, let's keep the watch doubled, Idas.
As you say, Jason.
Nephew, what news?
Nothing yet. There's a disturbance in the village I must see to. And I must still speak with Argos.
When I have a moment, I will see what I can find about the location of Delphi.
Your palace would be at home among the great houses of Athens or Mycenae.
Hail, sir. There's reports of trouble in the village. Some foreign warrior demanding to see you.
I'll see to it. Thank you.
Welcome, King Jason. May the blessings of Apollo's light shine upon you. What can Pandora, a humble fortune teller and follower of the sun god, do for you?
What type of fortunes do you tell?
I ask a person questions about their relationships with their fellow man. Then I interpret their responses and align them with the constellations of the stars.
Let's see what fortune you can see.
A man's most difficult choices involve the relationships he has with others. Which of these relationships shall we explore first?
Duty to king and country. Let us speak of that.
You are a scout in a king's army. A neighboring kingdom threatens your border. A fragile treaty keeps the peace, and you have orders to honor it. On patrol, you spot a soldier from the opposing kingdom hurriedly racing back to his side of the border. From where he was on your side, you see a scratched pattern on the ground, a signal for an invading force. What do you do?
I would observe the marks the enemy soldier had made to interpret their exact intent. Only then would I decide my next course of action.
Your answer is guided by the constellation Pygmalion, the sculptor. Of what shall we speak of next?
Let's speak of my fellow men.
You are a shepherd. You suspect a neighbor who is neither kin nor friend of opening your gate and grazing his flocks on your land. This shepherd's pastures lie between yours and the great forest. The wolves have been emerging from the forest in force this year and have claimed many of his flock. The wolves have spared your sheep while they grow fat on his. What do you do?
I would first confirm the truth if the shepherd had trespassed. If so, I would then ask to hear his explanation before acting.
I feel the sway of the constellation Pygmalion, the sculptor, in your answer. Of what shall we speak of next?
Speak of friendship, the bonds between comrades.
You are a poor guard, as is your closest friend. You learn that someone has stolen the devotional offerings from the local temple. You discover it was your friend who did this. His wife is very sick and requires medicine he cannot afford. He offers to split the money with you if you keep his secret. A large reward and a likely promotion await you if you arrest him. What do you do?
I would let him keep all the money. He's my friend and he has need. The temple be damned.
Here, I sense the stars of the constellation Lupus, the wolf, in your response. Now we have only the matter of family to discuss. 2 suitors vie for your daughter's hand. One is a prince who will lift your entire family in stature and wealth, but your daughter doesn't love him. The other is a lowly farmer whose land is poor, but whose heart is rich with your daughter's love. If she marries the prince, there will be peace for 100 years, but she will live a short and unhappy life. If she marries the farmer, she will live long and happily, but the land will be plunged into brutal warfare. To whom do you give your blessing?
I'd refuse to let my daughter marry either man, and so avoid both fates.
In this matter, your answer aligns with the constellation Centaurus, the Centaur.
So, Pandora, what fortune do you read in my responses?
In fulfilling your duties, you believe that reason and sound thinking must be the basis of all decisions. You understand that in all arguments, there are at least 2 sides. Cooperation and compromise are the keys to social peace. The bonds of friendship run deep with you. For friends in need, there is nothing you wouldn't do. You have a strong bond with family. You do not act independently of your family, but collectively, together. Your dominant constellation is Pygmalion, the sculptor. Wherever your path leads, you will walk nobly and you will learn from your journey. Your choices have shed much light on the man who stands before me. I hope you have found my humble fortune illuminating in some small way.
I did. Thank you. Does Apollo grant you the gift of foresight? Is that why you're a fortune teller?
I'm certainly not an oracle or even a seer, but I have some knowledge of the stars and their influence on men.
And besides prophecy, why else do you follow Apollo?
Oh, Apollo rules over much more than that. He is the sun god, he who commands the sun. Civilization, music, and order. All of these are noble things.
What of Apollo's virtues? Do they have an effect on your work?
Nobility of purpose, a studious and open mind, compassion. These are the virtues I strive to uphold. There is a reason good men ask Apollo to bless their shields. He favors those whose purpose is true and who fight only to defend what's noble and right.
I must be going, Pandora. Be well.
Apollo bless you.
Again, Jason. Watch your form. Should I have Alcime show you?
Alcime? I'll do it.
He forgets I'm a daughter of Ares, Captain Idas.
How can I, when you so often remind me?
I think he's distracted. I wonder what's got his attention.
Perhaps he'll tell us.
All this talking, that's what.
Here, Diaphanes, renowned architect, was shown by Apollo the temple and palace he was to build. As he gazed up at the cliffs, he was blinded by a beam of light. As he gazed up at the cliffs, he was blinded by a beam of light. Shielding his eyes, he saw the outline of ghostly buildings high above. Shielding his eyes, he saw the outline of ghostly buildings high above. And thus the palace of the kings of Iolcus was built to honor the vision he had been given. And thus the palace of the kings of Iolcus was built to honor the vision he had been given. Here was born Amphiname, wife of King Trion. Though a farmer's daughter, she was gifted by the gods with beauty and virtue. Though a farmer's daughter, she was gifted by the gods with beauty and virtue. Such was her grace that Hera blessed her union with the king. And so she became queen of Iolcus. Such was her grace that Hera blessed her union with the king. And so she became queen of Iolcus. My mother. Fine queen indeed.
Look who finally decides to grace us with his presence! King Jason himself! It only took you all day!
Watch yourself, Zeno. This isn't Thessaloniki.
Don't I know it? On Thessaloniki, we wouldn't allow our guests to be murdered by some mercenary scum!
I am sorry for Menander's loss. May he find his way to Elysium.
Not good enough! No, not by a long way, King of Iolcus. There must be compensation, tribute! Your lands here are rich. Your herds are fat. Clearly you've grown soft with Zeus's favor shining down upon you. Things are much different on the rocky soil of Thessaloniki. A hard life makes men tough. But you Iolcans wouldn't know about that.
Save your insults, Thessalonian. Why don't you just say what it is you want?
I will bring my brother's body home. And with it, my ship will be full of Iolcan wheat and sheep. And then, each year, on the anniversary of Menander's death, you will send 10 girls on the cusp of womanhood to me. Never! This is what I demand in tribute to the memory of my murdered brother.
Have you lost your mind, Zeno? You dare to make such a demand of me?
Such pride! For one who let his guests perish beneath his roof.
Begone! Back to Thessaloniki!
I am not here to negotiate. If you refuse my demand, then my men and I will take our own revenge.
You do so at your peril.
Believe that. Then the time for peril has come.
Name your terms.
My men and I against you and your behemoth. Your guards will take no retribution against me after I kill you. when you fall, I take my brother's body and the tribute I have named back to Thessaloniki.
No, don't do it.
And your stake?
I hold here my brother's mace, a weapon worth more than anything on Iolcus. Blessed by Poseidon himself. This will be my stake. Boom!
No one wants it.
No. You will swear here and now, before these witnesses, that your family will make no further claim for tribute. Should any try to do so, they will forfeit the honor of your family name.
Very well. So I swear. So swears Zeno of Thessaloniki.
Tell us when. You boys take all the time you need.
Jason of Iolcus dies today! Kill them! Finish it, you Iolcan dog!
Get up, Zeno. At least die like a man.
It is a fine mace. Do you think it really was blessed by Poseidon?
Who knows?
One thing's certain, it'll see more honor with you than that fool.
Be careful, King Jason. He had a witch with him earlier. She may still be around.
A witch.
You don't know that, Thaddeus.
You should have seen her. Markings all over her body. And she was asking about the assassin.
More like demands, really. Did any of us see him? Where did he come from? She was very interested, all right.
And what'd she look like?